Well, so far in this series called Creating a Discipleship Culture, we've talked about what a discipleship culture looks like. We've envisioned that. We've seen that a discipleship culture is one where everyone in your church or ministry is equipped and empowered and feels confident to go make disciples, become a mentor. And then we've also talked about what it means to be a disciple. We define discipleship, and we defined it in terms of these three things: trusting Jesus, honoring God, and then helping other people to trust Jesus and honor God, to become a mentor. Well, in this particular lesson now, we're going to get real specific, and we're going to take a look at the tools at PursueGOD.org and see how you can use them in your ministry to start making disciples. Now, you'll notice when you go to PursueGOD.org that the front page has all kinds of great content organized into a bunch of categories: life and faith and marriage and parenting and money and more. But we're going to start by just taking a look at the Get Started category, because obviously this is the best place to know how to get started. Now, when you go to that page, you can learn about how Pursue God works. You can take Foundations, which is our Keystone series in our library. You can learn about becoming a mentor or parenting with our resources, kids' church ministry, youth ministry, and so much more. Now, I encourage you to take a look at that Get Started menu to see all of the different options that we have in our resources and how you can use them at church, at home, in small groups, and all over the place. But one of the main things you're going to want to know is our methodology. And we call it this simple three-step FLEX method, this method for mentoring. And it's not complicated at all. FLEX just stands for finding the topic from our website, learning about it on your own, and then exploring it together with the people that you're mentoring, the people that you're discipling. So let's say you want to talk about marriage. You go to the marriage category. That's the obvious first place to go. And it's going to pull up all kinds of results on that particular category of marriage. Scroll down and start searching all of the topics until you find one that really sort of hits the spot for you and your small group or your mentoring relationship. Now, the marriage topics are great for marriage mentors. They're great topics for small groups with couples in them. Or they're just great for a husband and a wife to use in their own life and their own sort of couples devotionals throughout the week. Or let's say you want to specifically tackle some faith issues with your small group or with your family or with your kids at home. The faith section has all kinds of helpful topics so that you can talk through Christian disciplines, you can talk through relational things in your life, you can talk about prayer, you can talk about baptism, you can talk about spiritual growth and maturity. Now, obviously, everything in our library is faith-related because all of it is about helping you pursue God. But specifically, the faith topics are those kinds of topics, spiritual discipline types of topics. There's also a category in our library called theology to go a little bit deeper into some of those more theological topics. Now, we update our content on our website every single week, so there's always fresh, new content, and all of our resources are taken from trusted YouTube sites and ministries around the country. Now, we produce a lot of our own content in our studios, but a lot of our content is taken from trusted ministry resources around the world that we recognize align with our vision and our values and our mission. But I want to show you one more thing that might specifically interest you if you're a local church, and it's called SermonLink. Now, SermonLink is our sermon resource that is connected to youth and kids content that we publish every single week. So we collaborate with our network partners to write our sermons every week, but then we add a youth and kids component so that every single week at Pursue God churches, you can not only preach a sermon on Sunday morning, but youth and kids are going to get the same content so that mentoring can happen and everything can be linked together for the families that go to your church. Now, all of this content is free and completely customizable. And the goal is really simple. It's to help people pursue God by empowering conversations. See, we think that this resource library is important because if you don't have tools to equip and empower the people in your ministry or in your church to actually become a mentor, then nobody's going to do it. So these tools are comprehensive and they're Bible-based and they're super simple to use. And all of it is there to empower you and your church, everyone in your ministry, to get in the game and go full circle by making disciples, having empowered conversations where they can share the truth and love with the people in their world. Now, remember, we don't think you'll have a discipleship culture in your church or ministry if you don't have practical system tools to make it a reality. Now, these tools are considered to be a baseline for your discipleship conversations. Obviously, conversations are going to go in directions as the Spirit leads, But with this baseline tool, we really believe that you can equip everyone in your church to start making disciples, start mentoring the people in their world. And when everyone's doing it, you'll have a culture of discipleship. So we encourage you to answer the questions below this video as a group. And don't forget to check out the resources online at PursueGOD.org as you do that. And then I hope you'll join us for our final lesson in this series, where we talk about building your mentor tree. We're going to get really practical in our last lesson, so I hope to see you there.